Hello and good evening from Kankakee High School. It is Super-Sectional basketball live on ClutchSportsIL.com. It is the Washington Panthers facing off against the new Lenox Providence Catholic Celtics here once again on ClutchSportsIL.com. I'm Michael Savoy. Joined alongside me is Sky Gillespie. And Sky, when you look at this game, obviously Super-Sectional, you're always going to have good teams in the Super-Sectional. Good teams is an understatement when you look at both of these squads. 2 30 wins or plus teams. Here, Washington sitting at 32-2, and Providence Catholic sitting at 31-4. It is set up to be a whale of a ball game.
For sure. I mean, it's the best of the best. Most people hate Mondays, but tonight it's Super Monday. The Celtics and the Panthers. Washington 32-2, Providence Catholic 31-4. The best of the best in Class 3A. It's going to be a fun one. Crowd's packed. There's a ton of energy. This one means a lot for both sides. The winner of this one can easily go on and win it all.
Washington fans packed out in orange. They have orange towels as well. It gives a really cool atmosphere. And Providence Catholic decked out in green, pardon me, as once again we get ready to set things up. Here we'll start with Providence Catholic. The Celtics are ranked number 2 in the latest AP polls for Class 3A girls basketball. They have been on a tear so far this postseason. Their road to get here was in their own regional, the Providence Catholic Regional. They won 70-14 over Midlothian Bremen, and then on the regional championship, they defeated Oak Forest 46-18. And then in the Hillcrest Sectional, they defeated Thornton Fractional North 65-42. And then in the championship game in that sectional, they defeated Hillcrest, the hosts, 72-44. Really, when you look at this Providence Catholic team, you got to look at the sisters. That is Lakin Callahan and Landry Callahan. 2 Morris transfers coming in the Providence Catholic and having an immediate impact.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the Callahan sisters, specifically Landry, through just 3 years at Morris, she's the leading scorer in program history. That's unbelievable. And in their last win against Hillcrest, Landry, 38 points. So she's a pure scorer. Obviously, all eyes are on number 53.
And looking at the Washington Panthers, they have been the most dominant team probably in all of basketball right now in the postseason. They have had running clocks each of their 4 games in the postseason. Yeah. And we'll get to their road here in just a moment, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think it's destiny. A lot of people think it's written in the stars, but this Celtics team looks to try to stop them and looks to try to advance to state here in the Super-Sectionals right here in Kankakee.
Kankakee has played host to a lot of great basketball. Their boys basketball team has been one of, if not the best in Class 3 this year. They're going to get another great basketball game tonight in Washington and Providence Catholic. We're going to step aside and listen to the national anthem as we get set to go here in Kankakee. And now we get ready for the starting lineups of both teams, Providence Catholic and Washington. Washington will be the away team on the scoreboard, and they'll go as follows. The usual starting lineup that we've all become accustomed to seeing here on Clutch Sports IL. Freshman Kate McDougal starts things off for Washington. Senior Avery Tibbs, all-time leading scorer, Washington Panthers girls history. Avery Tibbs is another guard for Washington. Senior Rebecca McDougal, sister of Kate McDougal, gets things started also for Washington. The forward, Mazzy O'Brien, number 21, senior for Panthers. And rounding things out, Danny Gaudet for Washington. The usual starting five, and they have proved to be fantastic so far for Washington.
Exactly. It's the usual five. Obviously, you got the McDougal sisters, but aside from Kate, you have 4 1,000-point scorers in a lineup, including a 2,000-point scorer in Avery Tibbs. And you can hear their crowd. They're rowdy. There's signs all over the gym. Orange and black everywhere. They're dominating this crowd. There is a fair share of green out there, but a lot of orange, Michael.
A lot of orange and a lot of firepower on the court for Washington, as everyone in the area has been accustomed to seeing all season long. Providence Catholic rolls out like this. Elias Raines starts things off, the senior guard, number 2. Junior, number 21, Taylor Healy for the Celtics. Kennedy Katowski, sophomore, number 30, a forward for Providence Catholic. Number 52, Lakin Callahan, and number 53, Landry Callahan, junior and senior respectively. The Callahan sisters round out Providence Catholic. And, you know, we may think Washington's amazing, and they are very amazing, but Providence Catholic wants to have some word with that as well.
Exactly. Washington ran through Galesburg, but I think Providence Catholic definitely scouted that game pretty well, and they're hoping to stop the train that is the Panthers. And obviously, the Callahan sisters, they didn't transfer from Morris for nothing. They got their eyes on a title.
Callahan sisters have been used to playing Washington in the playoffs. They played Washington last year in the 3A playoffs. They lost to the Panthers, but they know what it takes to compete with Washington as members of Morris last year, and they want nothing more than to spoil the Panthers' amazing season.
And you're going to hear a ton of Landry Callahan, but also the role players. They have very good role players. Taylor Healy, really good rebounder. Eilish, she is an incredible ball distributor, a great leader as a senior point guard for this team. It's going to be about how the role players step up and help out Landry Callahan.
We're just about ready to tip things off here in Kankakee. Washington, Providence Catholic, ready to get things set up. 1 versus 2 from the AP polls, ready for a spot in the state final in Normal this next weekend. We're getting things set up. Washington in their road blacks with white numbers and white lettering with orange trim. Providence Catholic in their white home uniforms and their green letters and numbers, and we get things started. Washington wins the tip, and just like that, that is Kate McDougal hitting the first 2 points.
I know she's a freshman, but in these games, you're a sophomore. You got to play like an upperclassman, and it helps when you're learning from players like your sister as well, Becca McDougal.
Callahan with the ball, gives it to her sister. This is Landry Callahan going around the arc, trying to find her man, and it's tipped out of bounds. She was trying to find Taylor Healy on the blow block.
And I know this Washington team is such an incredible defensive team, but early on, no doubles sent for Landry. That's going to be an interesting sign, see if they play her straight up.
That's a jump shot right there by Katowski, and it's no good. Rebound by the Panthers. It's Rebecca McDougal gives it to Tibbs. Tibbs driving in on the baseline, and she gets fouled on the act of shooting. She's not get the shot to fall, and she'll shoot 2.
Providence Catholic really has to get back. This Washington team loves to turn defense into offense. They love fast break opportunities, and just like that, they have a chance to go to the line for 2.
Tibbs hits her first shot at the line. Washington out to a 3-0 lead. We're just getting things tipped off. 7:22 left to go in the opening frame as Washington makes it 4-0. Avery Tibbs hits 2 for 2 at the line.
And getting guarded full court, man-to-man. Exactly what you expect from a Kim Barth coach team.
Lakey O'Brien gets her pass stolen by Avery Tibbs. Tibbs going the other way. Looks for Kate McDougal, gets it to her, kicks it out. Mazzy O'Brien from 3. She buries it. Mazzy O'Brien gives the Panthers a 7-0 lead.
Dream start for Washington.
And here come the Celtics. This is Callahan for a three-pointer on the wing, and it's no good. That's Landry Callahan at the shot, no good. Here's her sister, Lakin Callahan, for three. She banks it in. Wow, what a shot there by Lakin Callahan. She gets her Celtics on the board.
And as a shooter, you really do hate to bank it in, but 3 points is 3 points nonetheless, and a huge bucket for Lakin.
7-3, Washington on top with 6:30 to go here in the first quarter. Kankakee Super-Sectional. Here comes Avery Tibbs, right wing, driving in. Gives it to Rebecca McDougal, kicks it out. Mazzy O'Brien driving in. O'Brien with the right-handed layup, no good. Rebound, it tips back to McDougal. McDougal scores. It's Rebecca McDougal with the 2 points, and Washington up to a 9-3 lead with just 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter. The pass is stolen. Intercepted by Rebecca McDougal. And Tibbs on the left wing. O'Brien left wide open in the right corner, no good. The rebound tipped back to Kate McDougal, and she'll let it fly after a pass fake on the right wing, no good. And here comes Callahan with the board. She gives it out to Healy. Healy driving in left-handed, and she scores on a left-handed layup.
It's really good finish by Healy, the 6-foot junior. This Celtics team has a lot of height. Washington doesn't seem to care.
Rebecca McDougal drives in, kicks it out. That's a three-pointer, and that's good. Mazzy O'Brien once again. She's 2 for 2 from downtown.
6 quick points for Mazzy. One of this star-studded senior lineup. Mazzy is showing up so far, and the three-point line paying dividends.
Healy on the high and low, no good. Around the basket, she tries another scoop shot, no good. And I believe that's a foul on Lakin Callahan. She runs into her man and draws the foul. Commits the foul, and it'll be Washington basketball with a 12-5 lead with 5:07 to go here in the Kankakee Super-Sectional.
Those are the type of fouls you don't mind, though, if you're the coach. You see your player going really hard for a rebound, just happened to bump Mazzy O'Brien and knocked her down. Not a terrible foul.
Tibbs driving in on the baseline from pass from McDougal, and she gets an and one the fall. Avery Tibbs driving baseline, able to draw the contact and convert, and Avery Tibbs looks to get the 3-point play.
Avery Tibbs, the smallest player on the floor right now. Doesn't matter. Her second time going to the line.
And Tibbs converts 14-5, the early domination by Washington.
And this is similar to how they came out and started against Galesburg. They just come out foot on the pedal and don't stop.
Katowski of a left wing three, and she buries it. Katowski thought a second about not shooting it, but lets it fly, and she scores, and Providence Catholic answers back.
Hand down, man down, can't give them that much space. Celtics take advantage. What a shot from Kennedy Katowski.
Mazzy O'Brien on the K logo in Kankakee. Gives it out to G'day back to Rebecca McDougal, top of the key, driving in. Kicks it out to Tibbs. Tibbs out to Kate McDougal. Here's Danny G'day driving baseline after a pass fake. Kicks it out. Back to Rebecca McDougal. Gets it to Kate McDougal. Kate McDougal drives left. Goes to the layup, and it's good. Kate McDougal, nice drive to the basket.
Kate McDougal showing why she's one of the best freshmen in the entire state. She's not afraid of the moment.
Elias Raines, guard for Providence Catholic. Gives it to her man, and driving in and shooting the ball is Healy. Healy's no good on her layup. Gives it out to Rebecca McDougal. Gives it to her sister Kate, left wing.
Nearly traveled, and Coach Koppenhaver really wanted to travel too for the Celtics.
Kicking it out, and that's Rebecca McDougal for three, and that's no good. Rebound by Providence Catholic, and here's Elias Raines. Bring up the ball.
It's kind of interesting when you think about the Celtics in the NBA. They're the team that launches the most threes in the league, but right now, the Washington Panthers shooting a lot more than these Celtics.
Raines trying to figure out a way to her basket. Her layup no good. Rebound back out to Lakin Callahan. Her shot no good, and rebounded by Avery Tibbs. She's on a full head of steam going to the basket. Left-handed layup no good. And the Celtics coming out the rebound, and now they look to push. And that's Katowski setting things up. Raines now will give it to Callahan. Lakin Callahan looks for her sister, and it's overthrown. Intercepted by Mazzy O'Brien. O'Brien coming the other way. She kicks it out. Rebecca McDougal left wide open. She decides to pass it to Tibbs. Tibbs looks to shoot it, does not. Gives it to O'Brien for three. Or excuse me, that was G'day for three on the right corner, but that is no good.
And Celtics going to slow things down, draw up a set. We haven't seen a ton of set plays so far, and I think this is a great idea from the Celtics.
Lakin Callahan left wide open off a set play, like you said, Sky, and that was no good. Rebecca McDougal pushing the other way. No one's guarding her. She kicks it out to Tibbs. A right corner three, and that is buried. Avery Tibbs. She shot a lot of those in her career, and she's made a lot of those in her career, and she is a good reason why Washington is out to a 19-8 lead with 2:16 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think this timeout from Coach Koppenhaver is all about getting back on defense. Washington, you can tell that was a part of the game plan. Push the ball, and right there, that's what Washington loves to do, work inside out. You have Becca McDougal driving, kicking out to a wide open Avery Tibbs, and you can't give Tibbs a lick of space. She'll knock it down. 8 points.
Providence Catholic calls a 30-second timeout, and they're just about ready to get back onto the court. And Sky, well, we have a moment. I mean, you just look at Avery Tibbs' career. She's Washington's all-time leading scorer. She broke that record her last games that she played against Galesburg in the Galesburg sectional in that championship game. And, you know, she's got 2,090 points as of today. She, including that, has 2,099 points. That's pretty impressive.
It's really impressive. She's just a star. I mean, since she's a freshman, she's been a shooter. And this group of girls, and then you add in one of the best freshmen in the area in Kate, it's just phenomenal. Like I say at times, it's destiny, and we have both scorers coming up and talking to the refs. There might be a issue with the scoreboard.
Could be a scoreboard issue. It could also be one of the people keeping track of the books, maybe having the score wrong on their end. But
they just added another point for Washington, so now it's 20-8. So there was
so they must have missed a 2 for a 3.
Exactly.
So it is 20-8 Washington here at the start of action here in Kankakee. Winner goes to the state finals. And Washington, as of right now, looks like they are poised to go back to state. They have not been to state since last year. They're looking to make it 2 consecutive trips. But Providence Catholic not done yet, obviously. Still early in this game as Elias Rains brings up the ball, left wing, driving in, kicks it out. This is Lakin Callahan. Gives it out to Katowski. Kennedy Katowski gives it right wing. Olivia Anderson checking in for Providence Catholic. She misses on her left-handed layup. And Kay McDougal brings it in. That's Tibbs, a right wing three, and who would have guessed she buries the three?
And I watched her in warm-up. She really loved that right wing three. She took a ton of them, and as you know, that's like a layup for Tibbs.
And here come the Celtics the other way. Lakin Callahan draws the foul right below the free throw line. And it'll be on the floor, so the Celtics will throw the ball in.
I know it's early on, Michael, but Landry's still scoreless after dropping 38 in her last game.
Washington's done a great job neutralizing her. Here comes the Celtics. Liv Anderson brings it out to Landry Callahan, the star senior for Providence Catholic, looking to figure out her way to the basket, going against Danny Gaudet. She puts a shot up, and it's no good. Rebound by the Panthers. They look to push. Rebecca McDougal, the Kate McDougal. Kate driving baseline. Looking, and throwing it back to Danny Gaudet on the K logo in midcourt, and she throws it away. Looking for Rebecca McDougal, but the pass goes out of bounds.
Great idea from Gaudet. Just a little too much force on that one. Out of bounds, a rare Washington turnover. And talking about the speed and the pace, I think Washington knows that they're a little bit deeper than the Celtics are, so they can afford to do that.
Here's Landry Callahan, pardon me, and Landry Callahan gets a pass down low, and she scores her first points of the game. And going back the other way, Rebecca McDougal, she'll score as well. Washington answers back.
Great pass right there from Ainsley Redling Schaefer, the sixth man for the Panthers, checking into the game.
And here comes Callahan the other way. That time it was Lakin Callahan. She also scores down low. And Providence Catholic keeping toe-to-toe so far. Washington, they just aren't able to get many stops on defense. There's Kate McDougal driving, looking, kicks it out to her sister Rebecca. Rebecca driving in. She loses the ball, and there's a stop on defense for Providence Catholic. A turnover by Washington.
10 seconds left. Celtics going to hold for one.
9-8. Callahan driving in. Landry Callahan looking for a floater. That's 4 seconds left. Rebound Tibbs off a missed shot. Tibbs with 1 second looks for Danny Gade. She might have gotten the shot off, but it doesn't matter. Her three-pointer is no good from the left wing. And that is our first quarter, 25-12. Washington up in front of Providence Catholic, and the Washington faithful is loving what they're seeing out of their Panthers, Guy.
I think you have to. I mean, they're on pace for 100 points. They're shutting down so far a really star-studded offense from Providence Catholic. But what I liked how they ended that quarter, the Celtics. They got the ball down low, and they got some easier looks. This team, they have the height, they have the strength. I think they have to go down low more often.
Yeah, definitely a good first quarter for Washington and something Providence Catholic can build off of. And we didn't get to touch on it in the beginning of the broadcast. Washington's road to the Super-Sectional. They went on to Dunlap and played in the Eagles Regional. They defeated Geneseo pretty handily, 82-20. And then they defeated the hosts, Dunlap, 61-33 in the championship game. Then they went on to Galesburg and defeated Ottawa 70-39, and then defeated the hosts just not even a week ago, 61-37. That is a very good Galesburg team that was ranked on the last AP poll as number 3 in Class 3A. But yeah, Washington made easy work for them as they've done pretty much the entire postseason.
And I think the most impressive part of that was the fan support from Galesburg. They were the hosts, and they had a crazy big crowd. They were fired up, and Washington, kind of like they're doing tonight, just silenced them.
Nina Haran checking in for Providence Catholic. She brings up the ball for the Celtics as we get started here in the second quarter. 25-12, Washington on top as the Callahan sisters as Lincoln to Landry, and Landry with a contact on the block, and she converts her 2 points with a foul, so she'll go for the three-point play.
And that's a really, really good matchup, a D1 matchup. Landry Callahan getting guarded by Danny Gade. Gade, the Valparaiso commit, and Landry, the Pepperdine commit.
No shortage of high-level college talent here on the floor here in Kankakee as Landry Callahan misses her and one opportunity. And Panthers still retain a 25-14 lead as we're not even a minute to go here, or a minute left here in second quarter. As Tibbs' floater is no good, and fighting for loose ball, Mazzy O'Brien and Haran. And a jump ball will leave the possession arrow to Washington. 7:36 left to go here in the second quarter. 25-14, Washington on top of Providence Catholic as Kay McDougall drives in, cut off nicely. Mazzy O'Brien driving in off the pass. She puts up a shot but is fouled, and she'll shoot two.
And every time Washington drives, there's multiple bodies coming in to crash. That's why I really like Washington when they drive and kick, because there's bodies flying and hands reaching for the ball, but great job right there for O'Brien to draw the foul.
O'Brien's first is good. Mazzy O'Brien, one of the many seniors on this Washington team, a very good core of seniors for this Panthers team, looking to end their Panther basketball careers on the top of the throne, and making 2 free throws at the line will definitely help that cause. 27-14, Washington on top of Providence Catholic as Nina Haran for the Celtics brings up the ball, top of the key, looking, gives it to Landry Callahan, the senior, Pepperdine commit, kicks out to Haran. Haran tries a long two-pointer on the corner, is no good. And Kate McDougall with the rebound. She'll look to push.
Dangerous pass.
Dangerous pass to Tibbs, but completes it. And here's Danny Gade. She gives it to Tibbs. Tibbs driving baseline. Triangle offense there. Gives it to Danny Gade. Gade's shot is good. It's a really close shot, but she's able to get a fall.
That was the best offensive possession I've seen all day long. The ball movement was so good. The ball rarely touched the ground. I mean, that has to be so hard to guard.
Gade's first points of the ball game. Here comes Katowski. Dangerous pass there, and it ended up being a Providence Catholic turnover as Nina Haran was not able to grab the pass.
Taylor Healy will check back into the game. Katowski will check out for Providence.
There's Kate McDougall for Washington. 29-14, 6:25 to go here in the first half. Washington on top by 15. Mazzy O'Brien gives it to Danny Gade. Gade driving in, step back, just below the three-point line, and she gets her step back jumper the fall.
Back-to-back buckets for the Valpo commit. playing like a beacon.
She's got 4 points so far in this ball game. And here's Landry Callahan down low, looking for a way to the basket, and she gets a really tough shot to fall.
I don't know how she got that shot up. The ball was getting held, and she just powered right through it. Great finish right there for Landry.
Celtics are still down by 15, 31-16, as Kate McDougal on the top of the K logo gives it to Mazzy O'Brien. O'Brien gives it to the elbow where Avery Tibbs grabs the ball and she gets fouled.
And that's the third time Tibbs has been fouled so far tonight.
Yeah, they are definitely trying to be aggressive with her, knowing that she is a threat on the offensive end, to say the least.
And the Celtics bench were trying to say that Tibbs was holding, but Tibbs will get the benefit.
And it's 5 seconds, a turnover by Washington, a great defensive set for Providence Catholic, and the Celtics will look to capitalize on what they caused.
And that's so important for the Celtics because obviously it's a turnover, they get the ball, but they didn't have Washington put up a shot. This Washington offense has been so relentless, and they don't even get an opportunity right there.
Olivia Anderson looking, gives it to Landry Callahan. Callahan looking. Healy gives it to Lakin and Callahan, and her elbow jumper is no good, but rebounded by Taylor Healy, and it will be a jump ball. Possession arrow does favor Providence Catholic. And I believe the officials at one point didn't exactly know what the call was, but now we got everything figured out.
There was some confusion on it if it was a foul or a jump ball.
5:17 to go here in the first half. Washington up 31-16. That pass on the inbounds is intercepted by Mazzy O'Brien. And going the other way is Washington. Avery Tibbs camping out underneath the basket, and she gets a pass and scores an easy layup.
Tibbs has 13. That's a game high, and there was a lot of time for the Celtics to get back, and they just didn't.
And a foul on the floor by Washington as Providence Catholic was looking to get to the basket. Washington is still keeping a sizable lead. They're leading by more points that Providence Catholic has scored. It's leading by 17. The score is 33-16. Landry Callahan looking, gets doubled, kicks it out to Rains. Rains, a three-pointer, no good. Fighting for the rebound is Lincoln Callahan. Gives it to Olivia O'Brien. O'Brien's pass to Callahan is good. Landry Callahan with an and one.
What an incredible offensive rebound and a really good cut from Landry. Landry's now up to 8 points and one opportunity.
And Landry Callahan not going without a fight. She is a senior, so could possibly be her last game wearing the Celtics uniform. And like we said in the open, guys, she's played Washington before. She and her sister have played Washington before. They know what it's like to play the Panthers, and they are once again not going down without a fight. As Landry Callahan completes a three-point play. 19-33, Washington on top. As Mazzy O'Brien drives to the basket, she gets her shot blocked. No, there's a foul, and Lincoln Callahan is the guilty party.
Yeah, I did hear that hand get slapped all the way from over here, so good foul called. It was a little bit of a late whistle, but the arm got chopped, so O'Brien will head to the line.
We got 4:34 left to go here in the first half. 33-19, Washington on top of Providence Catholic. As the first free throw by Mazzy O'Brien is no good. O'Brien's second at the line is buried. So that makes it 34-19, Washington on top. With 4:30 to go here in the first half. Here's Elias Rains. Trying to probe her way to the basket, not able to, but gives it to Landry Callahan. She gets her shot blocked. Nice block there by Danny Gaudet on the low block. And Washington goes the other way. Ainsley Reppenschafer checking in. And she double dribbles by the K logo in midcourt, and Providence Catholic will get possession back.
Kim Barth upset, saying that Ainsley Reppenschafer got shoved, which is what led to the double dribble. I personally do believe she got shoved, but I believe that's what caused the double dribble, but instead will head the way of the Celtics.
Katowski bringing up the ball for Providence Catholic, looking to cut into their deficit. It's a 15-point deficit at 34-19. Nearly get her pass tipped away. Olivia Anderson gets it out. That's Katowski, a jumper. Healy jumper, no good. And here comes Washington. Mazzy O'Brien fading away, not able to bank the shot in. Tibbs at the rebound under the basket. Redley Schaefer driving in, and she'll draw the foul.
So impressive. Avery Tibbs can do it all, getting offensive rebounds as well. And I just don't understand how the Panthers, seemingly every possession on fast break opportunities, they have numbers, they have the advantage. That just can't happen. I mean, we're almost done with the first half, and it's happened probably 10 times so far.
Red Lake Schaefer's first at the line is no good. Red Lake Schaefer, that is, she's known a lot for her three-point shooting. She's one of the better, if not one of the best six men in probably in the area. Really good offensive numbers put up so far by Red Lake Schaefer, but she goes 0 for 2 at the line. And we are still at 34-19. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the first half as PC has the ball. Katowski, top of the key, looking, guarding her is Tibbs. Landry Callahan, Tibbs picks her up. Here's Elias Rains. Rains, nice dump down low to Landry Callahan. Her first shot is no good. Tries to get the rebound, does not. And Tibbs on the fast break, looking, and she loses control of the ball. And they will have it stay with Washington to the dismay of everybody, and I mean everybody from Providence Catholic, but they do end up changing the call back to the Celtics.
Avery Tibbs went on a 1-on-3 break herself, and they get a tap, and it bounces off her shin, goes out of bounds. After a quick chat between the officials, we'll switch the call. Providence Catholic's ball.
3 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in the first half. Washington still retaining a 34-19 lead as Landry Callahan looks, and she ended up traveling with the basketball on the right wing, and Washington will get the ball back.
So no harm, no foul on the Avery Tibbs turnover.
Two of the best teams in Class 3 battling out in Kankakee. Washington on top 34-19 as Tibbs looking, driving, and kicking it back out to Rebecca McDougal. McDougal back out to Danny Gaudet. Gaudet looking back for McDougal, finding a cutting Avery Tibbs. And I did not catch that, Sky. What did they call? I missed
Defensive
that.
3 seconds, or offensive 3 seconds.
Offense 3 seconds. So the Panthers turn it right back over.
Yep, Gaudet was just sitting in the paint a little bit too long. Had a great look, but they needed to feed her a little bit sooner.
And Landry Callahan with the basketball for Providence Catholic. Rains back out to Callahan. Left block, but she gets double teamed. Rebecca McDougal causes a tie-up, and it'll be Washington basketball. What a great play there by Rebecca McDougal.
And it's a great play, and that's a winner's play. She knew that Landry didn't see the backside. It was a blind side. She came in and doubled and resulted in a turnover. Really good job, or a jump ball, rather.
Tibbs driving baseline, kicks it back out to Rebecca McDougal. She'll once again go baseline, looking for McDougal, gives it to her, gives it right back to Tibbs, right by the block, and Tibbs lays it in.
Tibbs now with 15 points, and her ability to use the left hand is really impressive. As we have a reach-in foul right there on Mazzy O'Brien at the half-court line. Not a great foul.
Rains was bringing up the basketball for Providence Catholic, and O'Brien will pick up the foul.
Olivia Osborne checking in the game for Washington for the first time tonight. Osborne, the 5'8" junior.
Just approaching 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Washington up 36-19 as the pass is tipped by Avery Tibbs from Olivia Osborne. And we have another jump ball. This time it will favor Providence Catholic.
Ton of jump balls so far, and that's what you expect in one of these games where both teams want it so badly.
It'll be Rains passing the ball right in front of the Washington bench. And she'll find Katowski, kicks it out.
They're called travel.
That'll be a travel on Taylor Healy. She was right on the block, but not able to keep her feet down, and she will turn right back over to Washington.
36-19, just under 2 minutes left.
Becca McDougal gives it out to Mazzy O'Brien. Out to the newly checked-in Panther, Olivia Osborne. She scored 17 points in the sectional semifinal win over Ottawa, so she can also score the ball too. Here's Mazzy O'Brien driving in, looking, and she was able to get the shot to fall, but the shot's on the floor. No shot there.
Incredible finish. The Panthers are begging for that to be called and one. Still very impressive. It's going to be called on the floor.
I believe they're going to be shooting, yep. Both teams are at 4 fouls, so we'll be shooting for the rest of the first half with the 90 seconds to go, exactly a minute and 30 to go. Washington up 36-19. And O'Brien's first free throw at the line is good. O'Brien is up to 9 points. And she gets into double digits just like that. 2 made free throws at the line for Mazzy O'Brien, and Washington has doubled up Providence Catholic here in the first half. 38-19 as Rains brings up the ball, and she gets it to Taylor Healy. Healy drives in, but she gets fouled on the floor. But like you had just mentioned, we're going to be shooting free throws the rest of the way.
Free throws rest of the quarter. It's been a very physical second quarter. And Providence Catholic's got to capitalize here at the free throw line.
Healy's first is good. Yes, guy, these free throws, especially if you're the team that's down in a game like this, they've become so much more important.
Stops the clock, and also, obviously, you get a chance to score.
Healy only converts 1 out of the 2, and Providence Catholic is still trailing by 18. 38-20 with a minute 16 to go. As Rebecca McDougal looking, and she takes a step or two before she goes, and she has a travel called on her.
And this has been a pretty great officiating crew. There's been a lot of travels called, and a lot of these travels aren't getting called in some of the other games, but by rule, these are travels, so they're calling it by the textbook.
Pass down low to Healy. Healy, short corner, driving in, looking, kicking it out. There's Olivia Anderson looking. Gives it to Landry Callahan, and Callahan scores a nice basket. Nice ball movement there by Providence Catholic.
Landry now up to double digits.
And Denny G'day, left wing with 45 seconds to go here in the first half. Washington still up 38-22. 38 seconds to go. Tibbs looking, gives it to Rebecca McDougal. McDougal back to O'Brien. O'Brien right wing.
They might hold
G'day.
for one.
Looks like they're going to try to do so. As G'day looking, gives it to Rebecca McDougal on the high-low, kicks it out. That's Olivia Osborne. Her right wing three is buried. She can bury that shot, and she does.
We had a really good angle of that, Michael. Right off the hands, I could tell that was going in, and Celtics are going to have 10 seconds left.
10 seconds indeed. Here's Elia Rains. Rains driving in 6, 5, kicks it out. Olivia Anderson, 4, 3, kicks it out. Oh, what a pass to Healy, and that might do it for the half, and it will. Nice ball move there by Providence Catholic, but the Celtics still trail 41-24 against Washington as we hit the halftime break.
And I think this is what a lot of the Washington Panthers fans expected, but as basketball purists like ourselves, Michael, we expected a little bit of a closer matchup, but unbelievable half for the Panthers. And Celtics have a lot to work on here, and they're going to talk things out in the locker room.
Well, you better hope, if you're a Celtics fan, that last layup there by Healy is a sign of good things to come for the second half. But as we look at it right now, I mean, it's really just been Washington dominance all throughout it, from the regional semifinals till now. In the Super-Sectionals, they've really just rolled past their competition.
Yeah, I mean, it's really impressive. Washington showing why they're 32-2. Their only losses, of course, were against Morton, who, after that victory, became the #1 ranked team in Class 3A. And then they also lost to Nashville, who was #2 in 2A. However, they just lost Friday against the top team in 2A in Breeze Central. But looking at Providence Catholic, I mean, they play in such a strong conference. They have to go up against teams like Loyola Academy, who is the #1 ranked team in 4A, and then also Mother McCauley, who's the #7 team in 4A. So they have 1 loss against Loyola Academy. They have 2 losses against McCauley, and not even mentioning DePaul College Prep is in that conference as well. So really strong conference.
Yeah, the Chicago Catholic League / Girls Catholic Athletic Conference, it's really both the same thing, but it depends on the gender, I suppose. But it really just that's a really good basketball conference. That's a really good conference in general when it comes to all the sports. They really are more known for their football prowess on the boys' side, at least. A lot of state champions as of late have come from the Chicago Catholic League, but really, the Providence Catholic Celtics are very battle tested, and obviously they're down by a sizable margin right now to Washington, but they're in by 17 to be exact, 41-24. But they're battle tested, so they're not going to give up.
Yeah, I think the biggest key for them is they have to work on their defense. They have to come out and try to out-physical this Washington team. It just seems like the Panthers want it a little bit more, and it's shown right there. I think for sure the Celtics just have to get back on defense. They have to emphasize that in the locker room.
We will have boots on the ground pretty much all across the entire state. We have our own Jonathan Michael out in Pleasant Plains. And I believe that's for a 2A Super-Sectional. I cannot get my phone to load, Sky. I honestly couldn't tell you who was playing in that game, to be honest with you. But I do know it's a 2A Super-Sectional. I think Tri-Valley is in it against whomever resides down probably Springfield, I assume, but I could be wrong. At this time of year, when you host a Super-Sectional, it doesn't really necessarily matter if you're close to the site or not because there's so many few teams. But I do know that Tri-Valley is playing in the Pleasant Plains Super-Sectional, so good luck to the Vikings. We also will have Class 1A Super-Sectional coverage at Bureau Valley with DMAC. Our own Caden Sexton will have the story out for that one as well. So we have coverage for all teams playing in Super-Sectional action so far in tonight. So should be a fun night of hoops as the girls' season is just winding down, and the best basketball is yet to come for the girls in CEFCU Arena in Normal. Whomever wins tonight's Super-Sectionals will be playing down there. The boys' playoffs are just starting. They're just ramping up. We just got done with regional final action last Friday, and now we're going to get sectional action on various sites starting tomorrow, running through tomorrow to Wednesday and then Friday. So it should be very fun. The boys' state finals are held at the State Farm Center in Champaign. That's the weekend after the girls' state finals. So really, if you're an IHSA basketball fan, this is the time that you really need to hone in and pay attention because this is really where the best teams play and where the best basketball is played as well. And this guy, obviously, you're a Leroy graduate. Panthers are playing very well right now. You got past their regional and they're up to their sectional. So you got to be very excited for not even just your Panthers, but really just the basketball that's to come because obviously at Clutch Sports Media, we cover a lot of great teams that ultimately make it down the state, and obviously, it's always fun going down the state in CEFCU and/or State Farm Center.
Yeah, I mean, huge Leroy fan. Clutch Sports doesn't cover them, but Clutch Sports doing some incredible coverage. And to answer your question earlier, it's Tri-Valley versus Pleasant Plains. So
there we go.
Pleasant Plains is hosting and playing, so that's 2 number 1 seeds, so that'll be a huge game for Tri-Valley, who happens to be Leroy's biggest rival. So as a part of Clutch Sports, I have to cheer for them, but as a Leroy grad, I am physically and mentally and emotionally not allowed to do so.
There we go. Well, I know you got the IHSA website pulled up on your phone. I cannot get anything to pull up on my phone with how really bad the service has been so far. I'm sure it's only really because the gym is so packed. Who's playing in Class 1A, Sky, in the Bureau Valley in the Super-Sectional? I do know it's DMAC, and who else is playing Dew Creek Mackinac?
Kewanee.
Oh yeah, that's right. That is right. I read a story about Kewanee about DMAC, and they were telling me Kewanee Wethersfield. But anyways, yeah, DMAC looking for a trip to state. They were Class 2A for the past few years that they've had 31 seasons, and they've won regionals. Their first 31 season in the stretch back in 2023, they won a sectional, but they weren't able to go over the hump. This is their first year in Class 1A, so hopefully that means that DMAC is able to get over that hump. Now, Class 1A versus Class 2A doesn't always mean that Class 1A is inferior to Class 2A. There's great basketball around the state, but certainly like to think that the Chiefs have better chances in the state's smaller class as they look for a trip to state. Washington's looking for their own trip to state. They've done so last year. They lost in the semifinals and ultimately got third place. They lost to Chicago St. Ignatius. I remember doing that game, Sky, and I can't remember exactly what run they got off to. That is St. Ignatius. It was close to like a 20-0 run. It was borderline ridiculous how good the Wolfpack were against Washington, but Washington ended up rebounding in the second half. But obviously that deficit is really hard to overcome, and they just weren't able to do so. They fell 48-33 to the Wolfpack, and then they had played the following day against Quincy Notre Dame. They had beaten the Raiders 60-51, and that's how they got their third place finish in state. The other the other time they went to state, Washington that is 1982. They've only been to state twice. Providence Catholic has not gone past the Super-Sectionals in their program's history, so a win tonight for the Celtics would mean their first trip ever to the state finals.
Yeah, I mean, this Providence Catholic team's really good. They started the season 16-1. They haven't had a losing season since 2019, so this team knows how to win. I mean, they play a very tough schedule, as does Washington, so it's a little bit of iron sharpens iron. They love to pack their regular season schedule, facing some of the best. But what I like about Washington, what I want to bring up is their team motto has been think big. Their eyes are on the prize. They couldn't care less about that loss against Morton in the regular season. I know that was a huge game. Everyone's like, oh, Morton's got their number. Washington might not be able to get things done. But if you go to their Twitter account, during the regular season, they never mention their record. They always put 0-0 because they didn't care about the regular season. They were waiting for the playoffs. And like I said, they are thinking big. Their eyes are on the prize. They want to walk away, obviously tonight with the Super-Sectional plaque, but they want to finish on top of everyone in 3A.
Yeah, you got to credit Kim Barth for what she's done so far with Washington. She's been at the helm for quite a while, and she's only produced winning Washington basketball teams. And you got to believe this is her best team yet. Last year's team was really good, but this year's team is proven to be even better in terms of the experience they bring back and the talent they bring back. And, you know, like we said, Sky, and like I'm sure all the folks at home that have followed Washington Lady Panther basketball have known, they have rolled past really everybody in their path here in the postseason. I would say outside of their regional semifinal game, you can look at all the games they played so far in the postseason and realistically think, okay, they might lose this game. But they have just not lost any of their games. They have rolled past their competition. And that obviously goes to show how talented this Washington Panthers team, but it also goes to show really the coaching staff and what they have done as well.
Yeah, I mean, night in and night out, it's typically a Kim Barth masterclass, so huge credit to her and all the assistants that help out. But this Washington team is special. We've seen it not only last year, not only the year before, but this entire year. Like I mentioned early on, it kind of seems like the stars have been aligning. I mean, when you got Kate McDougall playing with her older sister, Becca McDougall, the last time they played together was in 5th and 8th grade. Kate played up on the 8th grade team, and they went to state that year. Kind of unbelievable to think about. So that just shows that, like, she's had experience playing with these girls, and it's just really impressive. I mean, it's also cool that Becca, when she was a freshman, she got to play with her older sister, Claire McDougall. So the McDougall and Washington Panther, duos, it's always there, and they sure love to win.
Just looking at the scores, Avery Tibbs leads Washington with 15 points. Following closely behind her is Mazzy O'Brien with her 11 points. It's only 2 double-digit scores for Washington. Providence Catholic, really, when you look at the Celtics, as we say that, are running out to the court and warming up. We have just over 3 minutes to go here before we start the second half. Landry Callahan has 13 points for Providence Catholic, and she's got 13 of the 24 for the Celtics. Really, if you look at Providence Catholic, they have scorers. They're obviously a good team for a reason. It's not just a one-girl show, but you really got to have other girls step up.
Yeah, I mean, and while we still have a little bit of time to just say whatever on our mind, Michael, I have some fun facts for you.
Hit me with it, Sky.
So, obviously, we know Landry Callahan. She's committed to Pepperdine. And I've known this. I don't know how many people know this, but Pepperdine is actually the campus that they filmed Zoe 101 at. Pacific Coast Academy. It was actually just Pepperdine's campus. So
Wow.
there's a fun fact. And also Pope Leo, the current Pope, his brother lives in New Lenox, which is where Providence Catholic resides. And Pope Leo has done a ton for the community of New Lenox. So an American-born Pope, pretty big deal, and he has some New Lenox ties.
That's, I mean, I'm not too surprised about the Pope fun fact. Actually, I do know he obviously, and I'm sure a lot of people know he's from the southern part of Chicago. So I believe, and I could be wrong. I believe he went the Pope. Oh, it just crossed my mind, and now I don't have it anymore. He went to some Catholic high school up in the Chicagoland area.
Dalton or one of those two.
Thornwood, I believe. That's not a Catholic school, but I can't look this up, Sky. The service has not been favorable to me at all, so I can't look anything up on my phone, so I can't even fact check myself.
Yeah, but just going back to Pepperdine, it has one of the most beautiful campuses ever in the entire country. It's just gorgeous, right on the coast. And little Zoe 101 fun fact for my Nickelodeon fans.
I'm sure someone found that very interesting. I definitely did. So we get a minute 20 to go here. Both teams have taken the court. Washington huddling up to discuss things, and Providence Catholic just getting done shooting around, and they're about ready to get started to talk about some things. And we're just about ready to get things started here in the second half of the Kankakee Super-Sectional. The winner of this game will go to Suffolk Arena next weekend, and where they'll participate in the state finals.
As crazy as it sounds, I think the first 4 minutes of this quarter will decide the entire game. If the Celtics can't go on a run, if they can't come out and play physical and kind of throw some punches the way of the Panthers, I don't know if they can get this comeback. I don't know if they can make it happen. I mean, Washington's playing perfect basketball. The Celtics have to change something.
And Sky, I have to admit, you're probably right. We're at that point. Providence Catholic, although they're a great team, down by 17 early in the second half. You got to have going a run early on if they want to go with this Washington Panthers team. Washington could run away with this instantly.
We've seen crazier things happen, but with just how disciplined this Washington Panthers team, you would be pretty shocked if they gave up a 17-point halftime lead.
And Claire McDougall walking around the sideline, giving Mazzy O'Brien, who's about ready to inbound the basketball, a little bit of a tap on the shoulder. As we get things started, Avery Tibbs on the K logo, gives it to Rebecca McDougall on the elbow. Back to Tibbs. Tibbs looking for Kate McDougall. Kate McDougall driving it left-handed. She gets a Kool-Aid to the basket, but no good. And that is a Washington off-ball foul.
They're going to call a push in the back, getting that offensive rebound by Becca McDougall.
And McDougall, like you said, Sky, push in the back, and that will be an early foul on the Panthers. Just open up the second half. We'll see if the Celtics can cut into their deficit. Here's Lakin Callahan, gives it out to Taylor Healy. Healy looking, top of the key, dribbling around. Gives it to Lakin Callahan. Callahan looking, driving. Tries to draw a foul, does not. Gets the ball underneath the basket, shovels it over to Healy, but Healy gets fouled, putting up a shot, and she'll shoot two.
And that type of offense has been what's worked for the Celtics. When they go high-low, driving, dishing down to the post, I mean, it's worked out well. They've gotten good looks, but a lot of times this Panthers team has played great straight-up defense. Not that time, however. 2 free throws come in the way of Healy.
Healy's first is buried.
Healy's now got 6. She's the second leading scorer for the Celtics.
Just a junior is Healy. She'll have another year at Providence Catholic past this year, and her second free throw is no good. 41-25, 7:16 to go here in the third quarter. Winner of this game goes to the state finals, 1 versus 2 in Class 3. And driving baseline and shoveling it is Rebecca McDougall, and she ends up stepping on the baseline. And it's another Panther turnover.
Becca McDougall's going to check out.
And Providence Catholic bringing up the ball. Here's Rains.
Olivia Osborne checked in for McDougall, who just had back-to-back turnovers, so it makes sense.
Katowski for the Celtics gives it out to Lincoln Callahan high-low pass to her sister is intercepted. Here's Kate McDougal the other way, looking for Tibbs. Tibbs left corner, driving in baseline, looking, kicking out. It's a three-pointer by Mazzy O'Brien, and she buries it.
Mazzy's got 14, and what I've noticed, have you noticed, Michael? Avery Tibbs loves to drive left, and she's really good with that left hand.
She loves to drive baseline as well. She likes to find her open players and have them score. There's a three-point ball here by Katowski, and Katowski banks it in. Nice shot there by Candy Matowski.
The second banked-in three we've seen for Providence. Their first shot of the game was a bank-in three, so another one right there. This one's from Katowski.
The bank is open for Providence Catholic. They still trail 44-28 with 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Avery Tibbs, left corner, driving in baseline. This time a reverse layup is good.
And right on cue, we talked about how she loves driving baseline, usually to kick out for open teammates, but that time she does it herself. Game high 17.
Katowski, left wing, tries to feed it a weird-looking pass, and it is intercepted once again. Mazzy O'Brien this time kicks out the Tibbs. Tibbs looking, and she gets fouled, putting up a layup. And it does not go, so Avery Tibbs will shoot two.
Avery Tibbs going to the line yet again. This is her third trip to the line, and that's what I talked about, Michael. I think that's what Coach Copenhaver has been talking about with the Celtics, is that they need to go high-low more often, but we've seen the past two possessions as Tibbs knocks in the first free throw. They are forcing it. It's the right idea, but you can't force it.
And Tibbs hits her first, and she also makes her second. So Washington up by 20 is 48-28. The Panthers are looking as dominant as they've been. 5:28 to go here in the third quarter. The Lincoln Callahan shot the free throw line, and she buries it. A nice bank shot there by Lincoln Callahan.
And just like that, the Panthers already brought the ball up and are going to slow things down for once.
Kate McDougal up against the K. Midcourt gives it out to Mazzy O'Brien, back to G'day O'Brien, back out for three. Airballed that time, but there for the rebound is Avery Tibbs. Tibbs back out to Kate McDougal. Kate McDougal looks for Danny G'day. Cutting inside is Mazzy O'Brien. And O'Brien travels with the basketball right underneath the basket.
A little bit of a frantic possession. You didn't really know how that was going to end up. It looked sloppy the majority of the possession. Ends up in a turnover. Providence Catholic with the rock.
And here's Raines kick, looking for Landry Callahan, and tipping it out of bounds was Washington. So Providence Catholic still with the basketball. Wide open is Katowski for a right corner three, and she buries it.
Katowski is starting to get hot. She has 2 threes here in this quarter. 15-point game.
48-33 with 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Kate McDougal driving in right. She gets a good length to the basket, and that was too easy for Kate McDougal.
And I loved that. The entire team, that's what they set up. They had most of their offense on the left side, and they just wanted Kate to drive right to get an easy layup.
Raines looking for a cutting Taylor Healy, and Healy not able to catch the pass, so there's a timeout called by Providence Catholic after the turnover. And Sky, this feels like probably the turning point of the game. If you're Providence Catholic, you're still down by 17. You just committed a turnover, and this is a timeout that's pretty important.
Yeah, and it's kind of like in a game, it's not like you're going to go on a 17-0 run to tie things up. That's why I said the first 4 minutes are so important. You want to just keep chipping away, but 4 minutes into this third quarter, and it's the same deficit that they faced entering the second half.
It feels like for whatever Providence Catholic does in offensive end, they can't seem to figure it out on the defensive end. You've got to really credit Washington and their ability to not crumble when they're scored on defense. They're able to capitalize more on the offensive end. Been the same 5 for Washington, and as I say that, I a new Panther. That is Olivia Osborne. Osborne scored 17 points in the sectional semifinal, a win over Ottawa, 70-39. So she could probably start on the majority of teams that she plays against. But yet she's a valuable contributor on the bench for Washington as the Panthers bring up the basketball. Kate McDougal on the K logo in midcourt. Driving behind the back. Nice move there. Osborne top of the key. Osborne goes left, kicks it out. Danny Gade for three, no good on the left wing. And rebound by Lincoln Callahan. Looks for her sister Landry. Landry kicks it out to Rains. Rains driving in, left baseline, kicks it out to a Katowski, right wing, right corner three, no good. Rebound by Lincoln Callahan. To her layup is no good off of that.
Celtics really needed to take advantage of that. Two different Panthers were on the ground. They tripped.
Kate McDougal, left wing three is buried.
What a huge swing, a wide open layup missed by the Celtics, results in a three-pointer. It's a 20-point game, 53-33.
Rains kicks it out to Callahan. Callahan puts a shot, but no good. And that was Lincoln Callahan, the shot that wasn't good, and she also commits a foul on Avery Tibbs off the rebound.
And right now it looks like emotions are showing for the Celtics. They're sensing this thing kind of going away, not in their favor. We're seeing some frustration. We're seeing some hands thrown up in dismay and disagreements and just anger, and that's not what you want to see. Body language, especially from your leader, Landry Callahan. Everyone else is watching, and they're just going to play like their leader does.
Olivia Anderson checks in for Taylor Healy for the Celtics. Junior for junior. Oh, and a miscommunication on the pass. It was Mazzy O'Brien who was looking for Kate McDougal. McDougal was on the top of the key when she initially threw the pass, and that was where O'Brien did throw the pass, but McDougal ended up driving in, trying to cut into the lane, and there was just a miscommunication. Turnover back to the Celtics.
Looked like she was trying to pass it to us here in the broadcast booth.
Rains picked up tightly on defense by Mazzy O'Brien. Pick it out to Katowski. Katowski driving in. Oh, a nice little no-look pass, but it'll be with a foul before it on Washington.
And you just, I'm so impressed by this Panthers defense. It has Eilish Rains so angry. She just shook her head and gave up on that entire possession.
Nice left pass inside of Katowski, and Katowski right underneath the basket creates space and gets fouled in the act of shooting, so she will go to the line for two.
Really good third quarter from Katowski. She's playing very well. She hit 2 threes so far this quarter, and she draws a foul right there. Like I talked about, Michael, I think it was going to be about the role players to step up. It's not all about Landry Callahan. It's going to be about who else can step up.
Katowski hits her first free throw at the line, and it's really been around an 18-point game for the majority of it. And we're at 19 points right now, the deficit for Providence Catholic. 53-34, 2 minutes and 44 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Washington, minute by minute, feels like they're getting closer to SEFQ Arena. As Katowski hits her second free throw, she goes 2 for 2. It's 53-35 with 2 minutes and 33 seconds to go here in the third quarter. As Gade right below the three-point line, top of the key, now goes to the top of the key. Kate McDougal gets a screen from Gade, and she'll throw up a right-handed floater, and she gets it to go.
Really big quarters so far from the freshman Kate, especially scoring-wise, but defensively as well.
There's Olivia Anderson on the left wing. Looks for Lincoln Callahan. Callahan gives it to her sister Landry. Landry probing through two Panther defenders. She loses control of the ball. And Kate McDougal gets the basketball for Washington. And McDougal looks to take it herself with the left-handed scoop shot, and that she gets it to go. The freshman stepping up in the big moment.
Michael, there's so many talented seniors on this team, but it's the freshmen leading the way as Landry Callahan misses the bunny.
She gets a high-low pass, and yes, she misses a wide-open right-handed layup. Great defense back by Elias Rains. She tries to get the skip pass from Washington, but instead tips it out of bounds.
But as I was saying, Michael, we're watching right in front of our eyes the future of Washington. Kate McDougal showing that this Washington team, really talented this year, but they have a bright future as well. I mean, Olivia Osborne, she's just a junior as well. A lot of talented pieces staying.
And Kate McDougal, as we said, passing the ball in. She finds Gade. Nice move there by Gade. Getting the ball and getting a nice angle for that right-handed layup. Good day is up to 6.
Good day, first team all Mid-Illini.
Olivia Anderson driving in, and she'll draw the foul in the act of shooting, so she will get 2 shots at the line. With 1:15 to go here in the third quarter, Washington up pretty sizably. 24-point lead for the Panthers, 59-35. As Anderson's first is buried. Olivia Anderson, a junior for Providence Catholic. She will be back in Providence Green next year. Her second of 2 is no good. She only makes 1, but it's a lane violation, so I don't believe I saw who that was on, Sky.
That was on Olivia Osborne.
As Osborne gets a little too jumpy and jumps prematurely. Gives Olivia Anderson another try at the line.
And that was a missed free throw too, so now
it kind of works as
point,
it kind of works as a 2-for-2 situation. 37-59. Providence Catholic still with a sizable deficit by 22. Kay McDougal, a spin move, gets her defender to the fall. No good, but she gets her own rebound off a shot. And she gets it out to Danny Gaudet. Her three-pointer kind of bounces around the rim, but is no good. And Lakin Callahan with the rebound. Gives it to her sister, Landry. Landry gets double teamed. She gets her ball stolen by Mazzy O'Brien. And Danny Gaudet with 40 seconds to go here in the third quarter brings up the ball. Kay McDougal on the right corner. She'll kick it out, and she'll get things set up on the K logo, center court. Finds herself wide open, but decides to kick it out to Olivia Osborne. Back to Kay McDougal. Uses a screen by O'Brien. Goes to the basket, right-handed shot, no good. Rebound fought for, and ultimately it is Katowski with the ball for Providence Catholic with 14 seconds, 13-12. Here's Lakin Callahan with the shot, and it's good. And we get
officials timeout.
Oh, we got an injury on the court, I believe.
Meredith Lamont has to check out.
Freshman Meredith Lamont checking out for Providence Catholic. And with 8.6 to go, Providence Catholic scores, but they're still down by 20. It is 59-39. Washington on top. As Avery Tibbs brings up the ball with 5 seconds for Tibbs. Gets the screen, crosses over with 2, with 1. And Tibbs actually travels with the ball with 1.4 to go. So Washington turnover leaves Providence Catholic with 1 chance, albeit small chance, but 1 chance to put up a shot.
1.4 remaining.
Lakin Callahan throwing in the ball. Gives it to her sister, Landry. Landry around the half-court line, almost banks it in, but it is no good. So the score after 3, 59-39 Washington. 8 minutes to go before they are headed to Sefke Arena. They are on top of Providence Catholic. And Sky, this has been what we've seen so far from Washington here in the playoffs. Albeit, I'd say they admit that this is more of a close game than they probably even really thought. They've been in so many blowouts. A 20-point lead almost feels like a 5-point lead for most teams.
Yeah, I mean, what Washington knows best is running clock basketball, and I don't know if it'll get to that point so far, but each quarter they continue to push the lead, and I think a lot of that started with their 25-point first quarter. You don't see that a ton at this level of basketball. They just came out with the right energy, the right mindset, and that's why they're up 20 right now.
Washington has played 2 of the 3 best teams in Class 3A. They played Galesburg their last game. Galesburg is ranked number 3 in the AP poll. In the final AP poll of the season, they defeated Galesburg by a running clock, 61-37. Providence Catholic is the number 2 team in Class 3A. And yet they are beating the number 2 team in Class 3A by 20 points entering the fourth quarter. Now, obviously, they're the number 1, so they are the best team in Class 3A according to the Associated Press, but it just comes to show even the best teams in their class can't really compete with the Panthers.
Yeah, truly, it just shows, Michael, that there are levels to this game.
Nina Huron brings up the ball for Providence Catholic as we start the fourth quarter of the Kankakee Super-Sectional. Huron, nice pass there by Lakin Callahan to her, but pass to Landry. The Landry's layup's no good on the left block. And now here's Lakin's three is partially blocked. That was a long three-pointer that was partially blocked, but Rebecca McDougal gets the rebound and she'll get fouled.
I think that the Celtics know that they have 8 minutes that'll determine that their season could end, and they came out and just 20 seconds in, they're playing so much more physical than they have this entire game. That's something I wanted to see a little bit earlier.
Rebecca McDougal right on the top of the key, gives it to Danny Gaudet, left wing. Kate McDougal gets a screen from her sister Rebecca. Nina Haran guarding her. Kate McDougal almost got the scoop shot to go up right by the basket with her right hand. Here's Lakin Callahan with the ball. Providence Catholic down by 20, 59-39, just 7 minutes to go here in regulation. Haran looking, tries to get it to Landry Callahan, but it's tipped away and stolen. Tibbs going the other way off a long pass, and she gets the layup to fall.
Three-quarter court pass right there, right in the lap of Tibbs, and Tibbs with a calm 19. Excuse me, no, she's up to 21.
61-39, Washington on top. They're looking like they're going to run away with this one as Haran gets a pass from Lakin Callahan, but she gets her shot blocked. Tibbs the other way with a left corner three. Oh my goodness, Avery Tibbs. She buries the three, and she's unbelievable with her shot making. It's really impressive to see.
Yeah, I mean, I joke about it all the time, but if there was such thing as we have a full timeout from Coach Eileen Copenhaver, if there was such thing as an Avery Tibbs jersey for sale, I'd be the first person in line to go get one. She is just unbelievable, and I'm so excited not only to watch her as it appears her season will continue, but also watch her at the next level.
See signs right by the students and the younger fans that have signs that say Panther Power, we are Washington, believe. Washington faithful are believing, and they have every right to believe. At this point, you really don't have to believe. It's really more of a reality than anything that Washington is a darn good basketball team, and they're going to be the toughest out in Class 3A this season.
Yeah, Michael, we've seen a lot of Washington so far. I mean, I got to talk to them at the TOC, the Washington Tournament of Champions, and I got to interview Avery Tibbs, and she said, yeah, I mean, it's all been about that think big mindset, and their entire goal this season was to win state. Like I said, think big. They didn't care about the regular season tournament. Obviously, it was cool winning a TOC game in front of a packed crowd. But at the end of the day, they're playing for moments like this in late February and early March.
Here's Raines with the ball, right wing. Kicks it out to Healy. Healy driving in, kicking it out to Katowski. Top of the key three is no good. Rebound by Lakin Callahan. She puts up her shot, and the second chance opportunity is good for Lakin.
Mazzy O'Brien with the left. She gets fouled. She'll head to the line for two, and it's just too easy. It's 2 points scored. That should be enough time to get your defense back, but still, Providence not getting back on defense. Really impressed with Mazzy O'Brien's game today.
6 minutes to go here in regulation. Washington will now be up 41-65 as O'Brien hits her first free throw at the line. Tibbs up to 24 points. She leads all scorers so far, as O'Brien's second is no good. So 65-41 remains our score with just under 6 minutes to go as Providence Catholic looks. Lakin Callahan, top of the key three is no good and hits the top of the basket where rope is, so get it out of bounds, and Washington will have possession.
We're seeing our first full court pressure. It's going to be a zone with traps from the Celtics.
And Washington breaks it easily as Tibbs passes it to O'Brien. O'Brien's layup's no good, but Tibbs with the offensive rebound. One of the smaller players on the court gets a rebound and she will score.
That's Tibbs' fourth offensive rebound. That's just incredible.
And Landry Callahan on the elbow nearly gets the ball stolen, but instead it'll be a Washington foul on Danny Gaudet.
It was the right idea. Like we've seen a couple times from Washington, they're setting blindside doubles. That one just got a little bit of the elbow, I appear, of Landry
And Rains looking, and she gives it to Healy, and Taylor Healy cutting to the basket off the inbounds on the baseline, and she'll get an easy 2 to fall.
And Rains is, honestly, she's had some really good passes today. She's a really smart player. She's an incredible point guard. She's always racking up assists, and I really love her court vision.
Rebecca McDougal looking, and
that's not a travel. That is not a travel.
She had a nice move there, but it's one of those things, Sky, where it may not be a travel, but it just looks like a travel. And sometimes officials can call those things based on how they look versus what they actually are. As Rains brings the basketball up court for Providence Catholic. And it'll be Rains once again, and she'll carry the basketball, so a turnover for turnover, and Washington will get the ball back with 4 minutes and 52 seconds to go here in regulation. The Panthers up 67-43.
Nice.
Here's Kate McDougal, left wing. Good day, left corner. She'll refuse the screen from Rebecca McDougal and drive baseline, and right decision there, she'll draw the foul in the act of shooting, so Danny G'day will go to the line for 2.
And what I really like to see from Washington, in an era of when probably like 70% of teams would just dribble it out and melt the clock, they're still trying to, give Providence a chance. They're going to the line, they're trying to score more points, and they're not just passing the ball around knowing that there's no shot clock and they can do whatever they want. So I really like to see that from Washington.
G'day hits her first free throw, and you say shot clock, Scott. This is the last year they'll be able to do what you're saying, able to dribble up the clock with 4 minutes to go, as we have a 30-second timeout by the Panthers, but the shot clock will be mandated next year. As of right now, it's not exactly mandated. You can only use it for tournaments and shootouts if you agree to, or if you have a game in regular season and both teams agree to it, but it's not mandated until next season. And we've talked about the shot clock more and more as the time has come closer. And I'll say, Sky, knowing now that we've gone through 2 years of shot clock basketball in certain tournaments, I really don't think it makes much of a difference.
I don't, but I just think it's so important late in the games because you see all the times teams will just melt out the clock, make you foul, and it's just something that's kind of long overdue, but it's going to be a unique change next season. In
my honest opinion, if you have a 35-second shot clock, and if you don't have a 35-second shot clock, using it in the game, as there's a turnover there, Avery Tibbs with the steal. If you take 35 seconds to make an offensive possession work, then you got to give your hats off to the defense.
Agreed.
That's what I think about it, but I digress as we go through the last half of the fourth quarter. 69-43, Washington on top. As Kate McDougal drives right, kicks it out.
All starters are still in for both sides, so no one waving the white flag quite yet.
And Mazzy O'Brien driving left, loses the ball. She had the right idea, but loses control. And there's Landry Callahan driving, kicking it out. That's Gutowski's right corner three, no good. And rebound Rebecca McDougal, and here come the Panthers pushing the other way. Tibbs decides not to shoot it. You can hear the sigh from Washington fans. They really wanted a three-pointer by Tibbs. But here's Kate McDougal driving in, kicking it out to her sister, and how about that? The sister connection. They smile and give a high five to each other as Rebecca McDougal hits a floater. And Providence Catholic, a full timeout by the Celtics, and they are sensing a real sense of danger. If they're not able to turn something around really quick, it is all but over.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they handle these last 3 minutes and 19 seconds. And essentially this game is over, but how are they going to end the game? How are they going to end the careers of Landry Callahan and some of the other seniors? And Washington, just my oh my. They're showing up and showing out, and it's really good to see right now. We saw checking back at the scores table, Meredith Lamont, who checked out the game earlier with an injury. She is back into the game.
71-43, Washington is on top by 28 points. The Panthers are all but final buzzer sounding from going to CEFQ Arena this upcoming weekend for the state finals. It'd be the second consecutive trip to the state finals for Washington, and they are poised to be on their way back to CEFQ. Just over 3 minutes to go here in regulation, 71-43 as here's Olivia Anderson down low, kicking out the Elias Rains. Senior guard for Providence Catholic. Meredith Lamont kicking it out to Katowski top of the key. There's Olivia Anderson off the feed from Katowski.
And the crowd's roaring.
And a high-low by, that was Meredith Lamont, high-low down to Landry Callahan, and Callahan finishes.
That's one of those scenarios we kind of mentioned earlier. If it takes you 35 seconds with a shot clock, that shot clock would have expired.
And here's Washington down. There's Mazzy O'Brien, free throw line. She gets the ball back from McDougal. Rebecca McDougal skip passing it over to Danny G'day. G'day left wing, driving baseline, looking, finding a cutting Mazzy O'Brien. Julie gets the ball stolen, but missed shot there by Kate McDougal. And with 2 minutes left to go, Providence Catholic has one last breath. They get a little bit of a run. That could start something as Olivia Anderson drives in and draws the foul underneath the basket. And she'll shoot two.
Mazzy O'Brien got hit. No, excuse me, Mazzy O'Brien hit Anderson. Her third foul, 71-45, and the white flag does appear to be woven as the bench of the Celtics is getting cleared, and as we speak, Kim Barth is sending in some subs of her own. So, I mean,
both teams are making more of a hockey change as get the cheering of the Washington faithful and the disbelief of the Providence Catholic Celtics that their season is coming to an end.
Michael, that's why sports is so beautiful. One side elation, other side hugs, tears. Your last ever game in high school basketball for some of these players, and it's March basketball. That's what happens, and it's very emotional for both sides. That's the beauty of the sport.
Daya Iyer checks in the ball game for Washington, and she tries to grab the rebound, but will fall out of bounds doing so. So
she's a fan favorite as well, the senior.
She's definitely a fan favorite. You gotta love this guy. Both sides were clapping too, as both sides were subbing out. Both obviously for different reasons. Providence Catholic, they know their seniors, their careers are over, and Washington knows that they're going to go to CEFQ Arena. So that's also part of the reason why you love sports.
With these players on the bench, the starters wouldn't be there without the bench players helping out in practice, as we have a turnover right there. Oh, excuse me, the ball's going to remain in favor of the Panthers. But these bench players, they put in the work as well, and they deserve to be in the spotlight too.
Ainsley Rethling-Schaefer dribbled it off her foot, and it nearly went out of bounds before getting touched by Grace Lustig for Providence Catholic. And there's a turnover by Washington. And with the minute 41 to go, it may not be a running clock victory, but it's literally the next closest thing to a running clock victory.
It sure is, and Celtics going to try to get a couple more points on the board.
Meredith Lamont kicking it out to newly entered Celtic. That was Lainey Bernard, and her baseline, or her mid-range jumper is good.
But what's special right there is the starters on the bench, as we have a deep three-pointer, no good right there from Donald.
That was Donald's three, is no good, but a rebound and a basket. Basket made by Payne Swanson.
But after Bernard hit that shot.
And there's a three-pointer there wide open, no good by Providence Catholic. And here's Swanson again. She just hit a layup, and she turns the ball over. A really long pass that was intercepted.
Just a substitution timeout coming here.
And a sub timeout. We're just under a minute to go. Washington is 52.3 seconds away from a trip to CEFQ Arena. The Washington Panthers, 73. Providence Catholic, 47.
Sorry, I just want to get this thought in because there's been so much quick action, but when the Celtics just scored that basket, all of their starters jumped up and cheered for their bench player. Even though they're losing this game and their season is over, they're still proud of their teammates.
Grace Lustig, she's a senior for this Celtics team, so great to see her on the court for her finals action as a member of the Celtics program. With 37.5 to go, Redling Schaefer dribbling up the court. Iyer, right wing, driving in, looking, getting to Swanson. Swanson gets the ball tipped out of bounds by a Celtic. That ball is tipped out by Sofia Tavares. And Redling Schaefer, right wing, getting it to Spezio, Jenna Spezio. And ball gets knocked out of bounds by Celtic, and
they're really trying to get Iyer to score here.
Pretty much inbounding it where we were before. And there's a pass that was just wide. And I believe it wasn't tipped, so they'd have to, they'd have to inbound it where it was inbounded last by the Panthers. That'd be the Celtics. With 16.7 to go. Washington coaches are hugging. The fans are getting louder. Washington in 10 seconds will be embarking on another trip to the IHSA State Finals. 3, 2, and 1. The final buzzer sounds, and the Washington Panthers are headed to the IHSA Class 3A State Finals in SEFCU Arena. They defeat Providence Catholic 73-47 to clinch a spot in the state's highest stage.
Everyone knows what the Panthers are capable of, and they came out here and showed it. I mean, early on, just in the first 30 seconds, they were up 4-0. They came out the right way. And like I talked about, I mean, elation on one side. Everyone dressed in orange is so happy. But the team in Kelly green and white walking away in tears. The Panthers have done it. They move on to state. SEFCU Arena, get ready because these Panthers want to walk away with that state title.
Washington looking to get some revenge from their third place finish last year. They have been poised to make that finish this year and amongst the state's highest stage.
Trophy presentations happening right now as the Washington Panthers will be handed their Super-Sectional crown, and the team is so excited. Everything they've worked for shows right there, but there's still so much work to be done. 2 more games remaining in their season.
Washington's overall record reaches 33-2. But you know what's funny, Sky, is that if you're according to Kuhn Barth, their record is 0-0. They have not played a game.
Exactly.
That's the beauty about this Washington Panthers team, is that they are taking it one game at a time. And they're not getting too, their egos are not getting too high on themselves.
And I saw a poster out there that said "Think big," so that's been their whole motto as these players are going to cut the net and celebrate and get a memory that lasts a lifetime.
And obviously, when you look at Washington, they have a lot of seniors, so not only are you making another state trip, they're making a state trip with pretty much your entire production, minus a couple players that have been big for this Panthers team being seniors. So the fact that these seniors get to end their basketball journeys at the state finals and Redbird Arena, SEFCU Arena, it's got to be extra special for them too.
Yeah, and what I love about this stage of basketball is that usually if you win like a regional championship or a sectional championship, you just cut down the entire net. But this, when you get this far into March, the teams cut down a piece of the net, so each individual player gets their own piece of the net.
Well, Sky will try to end things here, and we'll get on with what's to come here from Kankakee. Any last thoughts about what's been a fantastic basketball game? Really, it wasn't a running clock victory. This is the first non-running clock victory Washington has had this postseason, and yet it's still a 27-point victory.
Yeah, I mean, Washington did what they do best, win in dominant fashion. Providence Catholic falls to 31-5. Best of luck to Landry Callahan as she heads down to be a Pepperdine Wave. But, I mean, Avery Tibbs, a 26-piece. That's all I got to say. Washington Panthers are legit. They're heading to SEFCU.
Well, that'll do things here from Kankakee. Washington is your Super-Sectional champion over the Providence Catholic Celtics. And the Washington Panthers have clinched a spot at CEFCU Arena next weekend, where they will embark as one of the 4 teams with a chance to win an IHSA state title. Washington ended last year as the 3rd place team in Class 3A. They'll look to end this season as the best team in Class 3A. They're number 1 in the Class 3A polls in the Associated Press for virtually the entire year, and they'll look to end number 1 in the state as they play on the court. For Sky Gillespie, I'm Michael Savoy. We're signing off from Kankakee. Washington, a big winner, and they will play in the IHSA state finals next weekend. We'll see you then, everybody.